everybody, and welcome to another video. We start this one off with a bit of a nothing clip really. It's just try to indicate you're turning left, try to indicate other people can move if you indicate. It's really not that difficult. The car in question here, why not just put an indicator on? It's not that hard to put an indicator on. It really isn't that hard. And yes, I'm clapping. Now in this clip we're on the A217, we're heading towards the M25, although I do not want the M25, I'm still staying on the A217. I have got a Tosla in front of me. If you don't know what that is, that's a go-go gadget dickhead driving in front of me, and we are moving out to the right hand side because the left hand lane is for the M25 going anti-clockwise only. Yeah, it's pretty simple. All the other turn-ins are on this lane here, and it does open up a little bit further down the road. There is a whopping great big sign coming up. There it is, a huge great big sign here. Look at that. I mean, it can't get any bigger, telling you that a left-hand lane is a left turn only lane. Behind us we have a Burke in a Merc that's just moved over into that lane. It's undertaking the van behind me. But does it want to turn left? It's a Burke in a Merc. Of course it bloody doesn't. It's just undertaking. It's, you know, they're not used to doing the speed limit, the 40-mile-an-hour speed limit. You know, they just can't handle that, can they? So we have the Tesla to my right hand side as we're looking at it now, and we have the Burke in the Merc here who goes out into the outside lane. The go-go gadget knobhead just yeah, was in the wrong lane and left it right to the very last second, and it wants to do the M25 but not that direction, it wants the other direction. So I mean, you got all them gadgets in them cars and you still haven't learned how to put your sat nav on to tell you that you want to turn right at this roundabout rather than left. Yeah, as you can see, it's, I mean, how late do you want to leave it? But remember the Merc that overtook me here. Have a little look at what it does here. Yeah, self-entitlement right there. And we will just go back to the rear camera now, just so you can see the Tosla, who obviously didn't want to turn left at the roundabout, wanted to turn right. All them gadgets, and you, well, even if you don't use them gadgets, there was a 20-foot sign telling you what lane you should be in. So in this next clip, it's petrol head moment for you, coming towards us. Now, how nice does that look? They looked nice back in the day. They still look nice today. Yeah, very nice. Very nice. Why don't they make cars like that nowadays? I mean, that is just so nice. I think I would have gone for one with 4 doors though myself. Well, I did. I had one, a little bit later model, but I did have one. Now, if someone opens the door for you or holds the door open for you, do you say thank you? Yeah, you should do, because it's manners. So if someone is waiting for you here, should you just give them a little wave to say thank you? No, or just drive straight through. Mind you, that is driving a Kia. Manners cost nothing, by the way. They really do cost nothing. Now in this next clip, it's a silly little observation, little silly little observation test for you here. Can you see what I'm seeing here? I'll give you a couple of seconds to see the area around here, what you can see that's wrong. In my opinion, it's this car here. It cannot see out of that window. It's coming out of its drive and it cannot see out of the window. It's coming out to a busy road as well, and it cannot see through that window because it's not warmed the car up, it's not wiped the windows or anything. And that goes for the other window as well, as the car behind me lets him out. He can't see. He can't see this way neither, so he has to open the bloody window to see. That car lets him out. Everyone else has to wait because he's pulled out. And look how slow he's driving down the road because his car's not warmed up. He's not ready to drive. Now, unfortunately, we're going to go back to the last video that I did on this particular clip because I find it really unusual that some of the comments were quite disturbing, I think, as to actually the lack of knowledge that people know about zebra crossings and who has priority and who doesn't, which that is the main thing. Who doesn't have priority? People were actually blaming the kid. Yes, I kid you not, people were actually blaming the kid for crossing the road there like that. In the highway code, it says that you should wait for people that are waiting at a zebra crossing. For me, that kid is on the zebra crossing, and now that becomes a must. You must wait for people crossing the road on a zebra crossing if they're on the crossing. So what we'll do now, we'll have a little look at the highway code, shall we? Rule 195, look out for pedestrians waiting to cross and be ready to slow down or stop to let them cross. You should, all right, that's the one. You should give way to pedestrians waiting to cross. You should. He was there waiting to cross, so you should wait for the kid to cross the road. Underneath it, you must give way when a pedestrian has moved onto a crossing. So either way, whichever way you look at it, that car should have waited there for that kid. And do you honestly think if he hit that kid, if it's a should or a must in the highway code, that they're going to say, oh, your sentence are going to be less because it's a should and not a must? Get real, people. It's a serious offence to hit someone on a zebra crossing no matter what. So try and have a little read of the highway code, some of you guys, yeah? It's really, really important that should and must, although they're different, if you do something wrong on a zebra crossing, you are in big, big trouble. And another rule that seems to be confusing a lot of people is this rule here. We're coming to an end of a junction. If there's pedestrians there wanting to cross, they have priority. Yes, they have priority over me and anyone else that wants to come in from either the left or the right. Them kids have priority over us. So that's another rule that seemed to be lost on a lot of people. And it's probably because the rules have changed. Here's the old rule and the new rule. Okay, the old rule, we had priority as cars and vehicles and stuff. We had priority and they had to wait. Now it's the other way round. We have to wait for them and get rear-ended most of the time. It's not the best rule in the world. It really isn't, but it is the rule at the moment. Now the reason I'm showing you this because of what's going to happen in a second. I'll show you the rear camera now just to explain something else here. Because I'm coming out of that turning, we've just gone back a little bit. It doesn't give you priority crossing this part of the road. Because it's not the junction. The junction is over there to the left hand side where I've just shown you. Johnny here has to wait for me because there is no junction here. So that's the difference between this. And I'm just going to show you what happens a little bit further down the road here. Father of the Year, not. For some strange reason, he seems to think that he has priority on a normal road. There's no junction. You know, there's no giveaway lines. There isn't anything. You can see the speed bumps here that's slowing us down. And you get this father come out of his pram here and just walk straight out. He's got no priority there at all. There isn't a junction. There's no giveaway lines. It's a crossroads, yes. But my road has priority over the other road. And I don't understand. He's looking at me as though I'm doing something wrong. And we go to the rear camera now, and you'll see the way he's looking at me as if I should be waiting for him while he just throws his baby out into the road. I mean, this isn't a junction, what I've just explained to you back there. It isn't a junction like that at all. It's a normal road. I'm driving down a normal road there, you know, and I'm going straight, obviously. I'm not even turning into the turning. Yeah, people seem to be confused with everything nowadays. So we're going to go back to the last episode again, I'm afraid. Paul's masterclass. You must remember it was only a few days ago that I did this video where Paul showed us all how to drive. I forgot something. I forgot something very important indeed. Yeah, and it wasn't done on purpose. I kid you not, it wasn't done on purpose. No, seriously, even though we had a couple of Kias driving like a couple of idiots in the last episode, oh, I forgot this. What Paul is actually driving.
I drive an Audi, oh yeah, I drive an Audi, always an Audi, oh yeah, always an Audi. 4 circles of doom, up yours, boom. Audi,
Yep, that's enough of that. Audi's driving sensibly. I'm not having it.
And now it's back to topless darts at Roehampton.
I can't quite manage that, I'm afraid, but I can give you this.
Controversial clip of the week.
The big question here, is it queue jumping or is it using the whole of the road? I personally think it's queue jumping. Can you not see that? Can you seriously not see that and get behind? Can you not see that? Can you seriously not see that and get behind? Fucking hell. So let us know in the comments down below, do you think that was queue jumping or using the whole of the road? I personally think it was queue jumping, or he just wasn't paying attention rather than queue jumping. Now it's petrol head moment for you. 3 cars all in a row. 2 very nice sports cars and 1 trying to be one. Oh wow. Oh wow. Oh wow. That must be a really weird feeling sitting in the back of that car. Oh wow. So now we come to a stupid road design. It wouldn't be the same without an Audi in the clip showing us how stupid it is or how stupid they are. Obviously cuts the corner here and just, well, it didn't even look, I don't think, down the road. It just assumes that no one's going to be there. But it's this blob in front of us. Now is that not, I don't know, is that not a roundabout a thing here that he's gone round the wrong way here? Or just a blob in the road? So as we go to the rear camera now, as the Audi goes past us, the numpty in the Audi that's cut the corner there, I'm going to go round it like it's a roundabout. Okay, so we can see what is the point of it. Answers on a postcard if you know the actual point of this here. So I'm going to show you now. That to the left hand side, you can hardly get 2 cars in there. Hint, hint, by the way, over there. And it stops people actually turning right into the road correctly, which would be like that. That would be the angle you turn right into. Unless it is a roundabout, which I don't think it is, but there's no sign saying it is, but it should be used as a roundabout because the roads are not wide enough for 2 cars to get down, especially if you're an Audi and you need both sides of the road like that clown did. And speaking of clowns, this next clip, I'm driving around in Epsom at the moment. I've got a customer in the back, so I don't go off at this guy. Otherwise I would do, I think. But you can see the low bridge there. I get to see that lorry there now. The lorry driver, for some reason, thinks I'm going to wait for him. And starts flapping his arms around. You can see his arms flapping around in there saying, why are you not waiting for me? If I didn't have a passenger in the back, I would tell him why I'm not waiting for him, because I didn't see him early enough, and why the bloody hell should I be waiting for him? He's only just got there himself. I do explain to my customer why I called him a prat though. He's got a big lorry that can't fit under the bridge properly, and that's my fault. I'm supposed to wait the other side for him. No, you wait.
No.
And speaking of big lorries, I think the car that's in this petrol station thinks that it's the driver thinks it's a big lorry or something, because it wants to get to the water and the air, but it's driving out. Why you need that much space to get to the water and the air, but behind you there He's almost driving out of the bloody petrol station to reverse back into it. I mean, what sort of manoeuvre is that? He's fucking going back onto the air, and yet he needs to pull out that far. Now, the other day, I had a memory come up on my phone about this channel. 2 years ago to the day, 5,000 subscribers, and chuffed to bits I was, and I'm still chuffed to bits with that. Today, we're up to 16,000. 16,000. Thanks very much, everybody. I really do appreciate it. And I checked on it the other day, and we are 16,007. That's a pretty good number considering I am one of Sadiq Khan's licensed to kill assassins. Anyway guys, that's it for today. Thanks a lot for watching. Thanks for subscribing and liking and commenting and all that. It means the world to me. Thanks very much guys, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye for now.